You wake up at 6:17 a.m. to complete silence. No fan humming above your bed, no phone vibrating with notifications, no light leaking through the charger indicator beside your pillow. You grab your phone and press the power button. Nothing. Again, nothing. You sigh, assuming the battery somehow died overnight, but when you flip the light switch, the room remains dark. Strange. You walk to the window and immediately feel a knot form in your stomach. The entire neighborhood is silent. No motorcycles, no cars, no distant television sounds, no air conditioners. Just birds, hundreds of birds, more than you've ever heard before. You step outside and see your neighbors standing in confusion. Some are trying to start their vehicles, others are staring at dead phones. By noon, panic begins spreading. Nobody can contact anyone. Mobile networks are gone. Television channels are gone. Radio stations are silent. The internet has vanished. People rush to stores hoping to buy supplies, but the payment systems don't work. ATMs don't work. Banks don't work. Cash suddenly becomes the only usable money, and even then, nobody knows how long it will matter. As the day progresses, a terrifying realization spreads across the world. This is not a power outage. Engineers inspect power plants, scientists inspect generators, governments investigate every possible cause, but nothing works. Electricity itself is gone, forever, not weakened, not disrupted, gone. The laws of nature have somehow changed overnight. By the second day, airports become graveyards of silent aircraft. Ships drift helplessly. Elevators trap thousands of people. Hospitals fight desperately to save lives using manual equipment, but modern medicine begins collapsing before everyone's eyes. Across the world, billions of people ask the same question. How do you survive in a civilization built entirely on something that no longer exists? Within a week, supermarkets are empty. Water treatment facilities stop functioning. Clean drinking water becomes scarce. The massive supply chains that feed cities break apart. Trucks cannot transport food. Refrigeration no longer exists. Fresh food spoils rapidly. Cities that once held millions begin running out of resources. Fear turns neighbors into rivals. Some communities cooperate, others descend into chaos. You watch people who once spent their lives discussing stocks, social media trends, and office politics suddenly struggle with basic survival. A farmer becomes more valuable than a millionaire. A carpenter becomes more respected than a celebrity. A mechanic becomes more important than a software engineer. 1 month later, the modern world has effectively died. Millions leave cities carrying whatever they can on foot. Highways become endless rivers of humanity moving toward farmland, villages, rivers, and forests. Entire families abandon apartments because elevators no longer function and water can no longer reach upper floors. Towering skyscrapers stand abandoned like giant tombstones marking the grave of the technological age. You join a group traveling toward a farming community. Along the journey, you pass luxury malls filled with dust, office buildings occupied by birds, and highways cracked by neglect. Everywhere you look are reminders that humanity's greatest achievements depended on a force it no longer possesses. Months become years. The nights become unimaginably dark. For the first time in generations, the stars dominate the sky. Children stare upward in awe at the glowing river of the Milky Way stretching across the heavens. Many people realize they have never truly seen the night sky before. Nature begins reclaiming everything. Grass pushes through roads, trees grow through abandoned parking lots, deer wander through shopping centers, wolves return to regions they left centuries ago. The earth slowly heals while humanity struggles to adapt. 5 years later, a new society emerges. Communities become small and self-sufficient. People grow food, build homes, repair tools, and teach practical skills. Knowledge becomes humanity's most precious resource. Libraries are guarded like treasure vaults. Old textbooks become priceless artifacts. Elders who remember the technological world become living historians. Around campfires, children listen to stories that sound impossible. Their parents tell them about machines that could fly across oceans in hours, tiny devices that could show any movie ever made, and invisible networks connecting billions of people instantly. Many children laugh because it sounds like fantasy. You mean everyone carried a magical glass rectangle that could answer almost any question? They ask. Yes, the elders reply, and we wasted most of our time arguing with strangers on it. 20 years pass. A generation grows up that has never experienced electricity. To them, the old world is ancient mythology. Some people even begin worshiping fragments of technology they no longer understand. Rusting cell towers become monuments. Abandoned cities become mysterious ruins explored by adventurers. Humanity survives, but it is fundamentally different. Then, one autumn evening, a group of explorers searching through the remains of an old underground research facility discovers something extraordinary. Deep within a sealed chamber lies a collection of preserved documents. The papers reveal evidence that a group of scientists predicted the disappearance of electricity years before it happened. Hidden among the records is a message addressed to future generations. Communities gather from hundreds of miles away to hear it read aloud. The message says, "If you are hearing these words, humanity survived. We feared our civilization would perish when electricity disappeared. We were wrong. Electricity powered our machines, but it never powered our civilization. Civilization was powered by trust, cooperation, knowledge, courage, and the willingness of ordinary people to help one another." Never forget this lesson. The greatest power humanity ever possessed was not electricity, it was unity. As the crowd falls silent, you look around at the faces illuminated by firelight. Farmers, builders, teachers, children, elders, survivors. Above them stretches a sky overflowing with stars, brighter than any city could ever be. In that moment, you understand something the old world forgot. Humanity's true strength was never found in power plants, satellites, computers, or glowing screens. It was found in people, and as long as people endure, no darkness can ever truly extinguish civilization. Now imagine this happened tonight. What would be the very first thing you would do? Comment below.